Welcome to Author Showcase. I'm Tom Cannon.
And I'm Dixie Jarkle, and today we're speaking with...
Grandma Dionne Kelm, author of Grandma Hearts books.
Welcome.
Thank you for being here with us today. What are Grandma Heart books?
Okay, well, Grandma Hearts is my whole series, and actually I wrote that to help promote love, joy, care, and kindness. And so they're very sweet picture books. Age range is probably around 2 to 6, 7, and they're very sweet. I love you books.
Awesome. And where did you come up with the idea?
Well, I came up with the idea probably about 9 years ago. I was on the school board for our church, and a questionnaire went out, and one of the things that came back from the teachers in town was something that concerned them was a lot of children didn't have a regular bedtime anymore. And that surprised everyone on the school board, and I went home and I thought, gee, how could I help with that? And I thought, I'll write a book. Well, that was 9 years ago, and finally about a year ago, I got my first book published. So,
Oh, wow.
yeah.
So it's quite a process.
It is. Yep, it is a process. And so I kind of started writing different things, and then about a year into that, just, not looking for a publisher or anything, just really writing words, I found out I was going to be a grandma, and so that's how Grandma Hearts were born.
Would you like to read something for us?
Sure. I can do beaches. Do you want to hear beaches?
Sure.
Sure, absolutely, as long as we're on the subject.
Okay. So this is a little interactive. For the song, it's the beach cha-cha, and you are going to be the chorus of cha-cha-cha.
Cha-cha-cha.
Okay. So, like I say, I'm a very mushy grandma, and so one of my little things here is every time you see a heart, know how much I love you, Grandma. So, yeah. Oh, and so it's find the grandma hearts hidden on every page. Do you want me to show the pictures as I read?
Sure.
Okay.
However you...
Yeah, okay. So, my grandma always reads to me when I am ready for bed. My grandma reads me lots of books, but well, that's just like when I'm reading to little ones. There's lots going on. But first things first, she says. First, let me tell you, oh, how I love you. Come here, my little sweetie pie, and snuggle close to me. Let me see your clean hands and your just-washed face. Let me see your shiny teeth, your toothbrush back in place. We've picked up all your books and toys, you know we really should. We've put away the crayons and building blocks. A tidy house is good. Now, a story. The ocean, the lakes, and rivers too, there are beaches everywhere for you. You must have water in all its glory, but the beaches themselves, that's another story. One beach goes on forever. The ocean is far and wide. But on the beach at Grandma's Lake, I can see the other side. A river beach seems unique somehow, a totally different scene. With rocks and trees and plants and such, we wave to the fishermen downstream. We write in the sand with sticks we have found. Grandma says that I am so smart. She draws a silly picture, finishes up with her big grandma heart. We walk the ocean beach in the morning when the sand's all cool and wet. Grandma says that I'll be so surprised at how hot it's going to get. We scout out the spot that we think is best, my grandma and me, then we wait for the rest. Colorful umbrellas pop up one by one to keep us in shade from the blazing hot sun. We're set with our pails, our shovels too, our strainer, mold, and rake. I'm thinking of sand castles. Let's see what we can make. Just a minute. What's this? Oh no, here comes high tide. But Grandma says, don't fret. We'll build another tomorrow if this one happens to get wet. At Grandma's Lake, I approach the pier all weathered by the sun. Grandma shouts, be careful, but I decide to run. That happened last year. I lay my belly down on the wood, and soon I get my wish. I peer through the clear, cool water just to catch sight of the tiny, fast fish. As I walk the beach with Grandma, I almost always hold her hand. Grandma looks down the beach, then at me, and says, my isn't life grand? I sit in the tub at Grandma's. She washes my face, hands, and hair to get out the sand and the sunscreen and anything else that's in there. I climb in Grandma's lap. We've really had so much fun. The sun's going down, the shadows are long. Our beach day now is done. My grandma, oh, she loves me, and I love her so. But now it is my bedtime, so she turns the lights down low and says, yes, it is your bedtime, that special time of day. My story will be ending. I don't have much more to say except a promise is a promise. This one I'll always keep. I'll love you for forever. Now close your eyes and sleep. Sweet dreams. I love you. Good night. So this is the beach cha-cha.
Okay.
Did you make that up or the
I
beach
make them
time?
all
All right.
up.
Okay.
Yes. So, days at the beach.
Cha-cha.
Toes in the sand.
Cha-cha-cha.
You and me.
Cha-cha-cha.
I hold your hand.
Cha-cha-cha.
The day is done.
Cha-cha-cha.
Gone is the sun.
Cha-cha-cha.
But don't be blue.
Cha-cha-cha.
Because I always love you.
Cha-cha-cha. Yes.
Thank you. So that's my third book, Beaches.
Nice.
Awesome.
Now, is your character going to age as your grandson ages?
Oh, well, actually, the first one, my first book, Bedtime, has my first grandchild. That's Connor.
Okay.
And he just turned 7 yesterday.
Oh.
And then the second one, actually, the little child in that is his sister, Evie. And she'll be turning 5. And then Beaches is my next grandbaby, Piper, and she is almost 2. And then Connor and Evie have a little sister, Margaret. And then
One more book.
one more book. And then Piper will be a big sister in May.
Oh,
So
my goodness.
yeah, so no, they're not going to age because really I'll have little children for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're great at marketing. Tell us some of the things that you've done for marketing. We looked at the toothbrush, but
Okay.
you gave us these great little bookmarks.
Right,
You
yeah.
have postcards.
Yeah, and actually the postcards, my third book, Beaches, is just going to be launched in Watertown Friday the 23rd. We'll have a big book lunch party, and it's kind of themed beaches. So we'll have little cookies that are like beach balls and,
cute.
yeah, different things like that. And so for the marketing, one of the things that Naren said to me is, well, we can kind of start with your Facebook audience. And so this is 2.5 years ago, and I said, well, I'm not on Facebook. And he said, Grandma Dionne, what about your online presence? And I said, I don't have one. And he goes, well, you need one. So when I was planning my book lunch party for Bedtime, I was talking to the owner, Julie, at Tribeca, and I said to her, I know there are things I should be doing on the computer. I have no idea what to do. And she said, well, you probably should hire a kid, And so there was this nice gal who was working there, and she said, maybe Autumn has the time. And Autumn looked over, and she said, sure, I have the time. So here's this 18-year-old. And so, excuse me, I have hired her. And she has really been with me now for over a year, and has helped me with, different things on Facebook. There are Facebook giveaways, there are Amazon giveaways, and I would be plugging away and, pressing the wrong buttons and who knows what. And she comes and does things so quickly with me. And so what I do is I have a notebook, and I just write down all my questions for the week. And then when she comes, she is there for maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours, 3 hours, however long it takes us to figure these things out. And so she helps me with that type of promotion. So, because now I am on Facebook. My daughter-in-law helped, my friend helped. And
What's your Facebook? Where would we find you?
Grandma Hearts.
Okay.
Grandma Hearts, Dionne Kelm. I had to have 2, I guess. Your personal one and then a business one. So grandmahearts.com, and then you have followers, and I always wonder what they're following. It's a lot of I have different things, or when I see something, something uplifting, I might post that for the day, or so who knows what they'll find. A lot of pictures of my grandkids, that type of thing. And
are you on Twitter?
I am not on Twitter. That probably is something I need to do. Well, there are so many.
Instagram. There's Instagram.
There's so many.
I know there's so many, and for somebody who stayed away from it as long as she could. So yeah, I know there are other things, and Autumn is my technical helper, and we talk about those things. Really, what I have now is pretty time consuming.
It
Right.
is. Yes.
Excuse me.
Went to a conference and they said there's all these different social medias, and just maybe concentrate on the one that you like and believe in, so maybe stick with Facebook's, because you can spend time and not just post something, but actually, send out something that you care about.
Sure. Respond to people and then try and find people who are. So have you been to any more conferences? Is this a regular thing you're doing now, or
Well, let's see.
do you go and set up your books and
Excuse
sell
me.
them at conferences?
I have just been invited to be to be a speaker at a first conference.
Okay.
And but otherwise, I do I've been invited to libraries to do talks, and I've been to some independent living. There are lots of grandmas there.
Oh yeah.
Well, another thing, because I have, like I said, I have tried to go to other authors' talks and just participate in the industry. And there was an author, I went to his book talk, and he was talking about being on the radio, and I thought, how did he figure all this out? What am I missing? And so I saw him again, and then he started talking about his agent. And there were other authors there, and we all perked up and said, an agent? An agent.
Yeah.
Do you mind sharing the agent's name? And so he gave me her name. Her name is Sharon Alden, and she's out of Sun Prairie. And so I contacted her, and so Sharon and I have also been working together.
Wow. Nice.
Yeah, and so she does wonderful newspaper articles for me, and like a question and answer sheet to pass out to people, and she's just real good at marketing. I've been on the radio. I've had some radio interviews. I had a TV interview, little stations.
Yeah.
But you have to start somewhere.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so between everybody, I hope to get my message out there.
Great. Well, thank you very much for being with us today.
Thank
Again,
you.
it's Dionne Kelm,
Yep.
Grandma Hearts.
And the website is?
www.grandmahearts.com.
Thank you for watching. If you'd like to be on Author Showcase, please contact us on our Facebook page or at OshkoshAuthorShowcase@gmail.com. Otherwise, continue the conversation with Dixie and Tom via social media. Look for Dixie by searching for Daisy Jericho, and please check out her books, The Love Thief and Sparks Fly, on Amazon. You can find Tom Cannon on many types of social media, and please check out his book on Amazon, The Towel of Apathy. Our goal is to introduce local authors around Oshkosh and hear their stories. We want to thank the Oshkosh Public Library and the Friends of Oshkosh Public Library for supporting the creation of this show. If you are a writer and are looking for a community, we suggest the Oshkosh Area Writers Club and the Lakefly Writers Conference, held each May.